So the CDC updated autism statistics. That's a hard word to say when you're tired. And the title of the article states that it's not an epidemic and it's not caused by vaccines.
All right.
So
that's shocking.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Right. So on April 27th of this year, the CDC released new statistics on autism incidents in the USA. Now, it's gone up since 2014.
Okay.
No, that's incorrect. It's gone up since 2002. In 2014, 1 out of every 59 children has been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. But in 2002, the numbers were 1 in 52. Or 1 in 152. So it's gone up significantly. And naturally the anti-vaccine mob will be like, but you guys, there's so much autism. But
the funny thing is that vaccine's been around for decades.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't expect a dramatic increase.
Precisely.
It's the same vaccine. It hasn't changed in a long time.
All of the vaccines are effective and they don't.
But it's the MMR vaccine in particular that they say causes it. But it's like that. It's been around for a long time.
But stacks and stacks of studies have been done to prove that there's no correlation there.
No, there isn't. But I'm just saying it doesn't even make sense because.
Yeah.
Exactly. It makes way more sense. The best explanation for it would be that it's just getting diagnosed more.
Oh, Lisa, sense is for scientists.
That's true.
So there's certain things.
Damn your Occam's razor.
Right. There's certain things about this new finding that are a little bit puzzling. Specifically, New Jersey has the highest incident of ASD, while Arkansas has the lowest. And the writer of the article is asking if it's because New Jersey has more autistic children. No. It's just that New Jersey ranks 12th and Arkansas ranks 49th on the list of healthcare quality. So there's more testing.
And more diagnoses.
And more diagnoses. There's also a gender disparity. Boys are diagnosed more than girls.
Interesting.
And white children are diagnosed sooner than children of color.
I feel like that might be another problem with that one.
There seem to be, it's
probably an access to healthcare thing.
It's an access to healthcare thing because the 2002 report stated that 1 in 42 boys and 1 in 189 girls were diagnosed with ASD. And that was a 4.5 to 1 ratio.
Seems like a very strange. It seems like a very strange ratio to me. I don't know.
Yeah, but this article goes on to say that there's substantial evidence that significant gender bias leads to a remarkable underdiagnosing of autism in girls and women. Because there's a lot of
expected behaviors that you'd normally use to diagnose autism are different.
Or it could be gender expectations, right? Or even how, like, if a girl is acting in a way that doesn't bother anyone, even if it's abnormal, she might not get a diagnosis. Whereas if a boy is acting in a way that
doesn't bother anyone,
manifesting in a way that is making it more difficult for his teachers or his parents or whatever, it might get looked into more, it just makes her really quiet and not say anything. Great. Perfect. Who needs to look into it? It's just
perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly what people expect from girls.
Silent. But just say, or if it just tends to manifest in girls in a different way, that's like easier to manage without needing a diagnosis. I mean, as a parent, you're not going out looking for all this stuff unless you need it.
Yep.
It also could be, the potential could be subject to the Y chromosome.
Maybe.
No.
I find it's probably my bias, but I find the social expectation explanation very, very likely. It could be my bias, but I find that very.
Well, and the thing is, you can effectively treat autism with early interventions, which are behavioral.
Right.
There's no medication for it. But you can change the course, not fully,
the way that
but you
manifests.
You can help people with autism.
Yeah.
anyways.
But I mean, this is also in addition to 1 in 38 Americans being diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and 1 in 15 has a major depressive disorder.
Has that spiked since 2016?
Wait, so there are less people with autism than there are people with bipolar?
Probably.
Is that what
really common? It's a type
1
of
in 38
depression.
versus 1 in 59.
Yeah.
Okay.
So more people with bipolar disorder than with.
Right.
That doesn't surprise me.
So, and I mean, it's just, there's better diagnostic procedures.
Mm-hmm.
There's better healthcare access.
And more willingness to talk. I mean, like, do you remember when you were a kid? I mean, in growing up in the 80s, like, you go to school. I mean, Jesus, that kid's just weird.
Yeah.
And gets sent to the principal's office or sent in the hallway all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing else. Like, there's no thought about why they're acting that way or.
That's
yeah,
right.
it was like ADHD too. Like,
Same deal.
Mhm.
yeah.
That was just becoming
It wasn't
prevalent.
a thing to think of it that way.
Yeah. I was just in high school when I learned about that for the first time. But it's an interesting.
Yeah, like I was basically an adult before that stuff was considered.
Yeah.
Corey's looking back on his school life.
Wow. There was a lot of kids that like got really the shaft, I think.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're not supported in a way. Sometimes you can make just very minor accommodations for a kid with issues like that, and they can fully participate. You just need to get, like, my kid, they got him a little rocking chair for his class, and he just, I don't know, he fidgets in the rocking chair, and it allows him to participate better.
Right.
So easy, low cost, you know,
Yep.
no, it doesn't hurt anybody. And rather than yelling at him all the time or whatever, I mean, that's a much more humane way of dealing with his different way of thinking.
Absolutely.
His non-neurotypical way of thinking.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
That's actually the language you hear, like, amongst autism and ADHD.
Actual.
Yeah,
like,
you talk, you hear about the difference, like the way that the autism or your ADHD brain thinks versus how neurotypical people.
That was one of the things when we talked to Gleb that struck me as odd is the characterization of critical thinkers as non-neurotypical.
I thought that was interesting because typically it is used in terms of, like, autism, ADHD, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Like specific mentally different ways of processing things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I don't know
interesting.
if it's wrong. It's just, it's different.
Yeah, it's just
Not something
different.
I've heard before. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I think this undercuts how difficult population-based studies are. You have, like, I mean, a huge part of my PhD was about this with respect to galaxies, but basically it doesn't matter. If you're going to do statistics on a group of anything, galaxies or people, you have to start with a representative sample, and you have to make sure that you're gathering everything, right? You can't, if your selection function is biased, you're going to have biased results.
That's right.
So if you're looking at how diagnosis of ADHD over time, if you're not, if the diagnostic procedures for figuring out if somebody has this have been evolving over time, it's really going to be impossible to tease any information out of that data. It's just not, it's not how populations studies work.
To find something statistically significant, it's
well, you have to have everything else be controlled, and you have to be able to tease out the thing you want. It's very challenging to do, especially in human populations, because it's difficult to do this work in an ethical way. But in any event, you can't. Anyways, it's very difficult to make conclusions that aren't biased. There are some
isolate all
there.
these things. Isolate that.
Yeah. It's subtle. And then there's subtleties too that you might not even think about, et cetera, et cetera. It's not easy.
No.
Heck no. So yeah, that's my story.
Perfect.